Trump unveils ambitious plan, executive order initiates development of advanced missile defense shield aiming for 2025 rollout. On January 27, 2025, President Donald Trump signed a significant executive order aimed at enhancing the United States missile defense capabilities. The order initiates the development of a U.S. version of the Iron Dome, a missile defense system that has been successfully employed by Israel to intercept short-range projectiles. This ambitious plan is designed to establish a comprehensive next-generation missile defense shield with a target operational date set for 2025. The system will be equipped to counter a broad spectrum of missile threats, including ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles. Purpose and context. The executive order comes in response to the increasingly complex and intense missile threats posed by adversaries over the past 4 decades. In his remarks, Trump emphasized that the U.S. requires a robust missile defense system similar to that of Israel, which has effectively intercepted a significant number of rockets launched during conflicts with groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah. The president underscored the necessity of safeguarding American citizens and critical infrastructure from these evolving threats. Components of the plan. The executive order outlines a comprehensive strategy for developing the missile defense shield. Key components include 1. Technological advancements. The order mandates the acceleration of the hypersonic and ballistic tracking space sensor layer, which will enhance detection and tracking capabilities for incoming missile threats. It also emphasizes the development of space-based interceptors designed to engage missiles during their boost phase, a strategy that marks a departure from traditional missile defense approaches. 2. Implementation plan. The Secretary of Defense has been instructed to submit a detailed implementation plan within 60 days, including reference architecture and capabilities-based requirements for the defense system. This plan will address the need for a secure supply chain for defense components as well as non-kinetic capabilities to augment traditional kinetic intercept methods. 3. Budget and review. The Secretary of Defense, in conjunction with the Office of Management and Budget, is tasked with creating a budget plan for this initiative, ensuring alignment with fiscal priorities for the 2026 budget. The order also calls for a review of the current missile defense posture, highlighting the importance of cooperation with allies to bolster defense capabilities. Critiques and limitations. While the initiative has been lauded by some as a necessary step towards modernizing U.S. missile defenses, critics have raised concerns regarding its effectiveness, particularly regarding the limitations of the Iron Dome system. Several sources indicate that the Iron Dome is primarily effective against short-range threats, which raises questions about its adequacy in countering intercontinental ballistic missiles that pose a more significant risk to the U.S. homeland. Analysts have pointed out the need for a more nuanced approach to missile defense that considers the diverse range of threats faced by the United States. Historical context. The executive order reflects a significant shift in U.S. missile defense strategy, building on previous efforts to enhance national security against missile threats. The historical context includes the legacy of President Ronald Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative, which aimed to develop a defense against nuclear missiles but was ultimately deemed impractical. Since the U.S. withdrew from the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty in 2002, the focus has shifted to limited homeland missile defense capabilities. Key dates and timeline. January 27, 2025, Trump signs the executive order to develop the Iron Dome for America. 60 days post-executive order, the Secretary of Defense is required to submit a detailed implementation plan. 2024 campaign promises. The initiative stems from commitments made during Trump's 2024 presidential campaign, where he emphasized the need for a robust missile defense system. Conclusion. Trump's executive order represents a pivotal moment in U.S. defense policy, reflecting a proactive approach to address the escalating threats from missile technology advancements. The ambitious plan seeks to integrate cutting-edge technologies and foster international partnerships to fortify the United States missile defense capabilities. However, as the initiative moves forward, it will face scrutiny regarding its feasibility effectiveness and the broader implications for U.S. defense strategy in an increasingly complex global security environment. The next steps will involve a detailed assessment of the proposed capabilities and the establishment of a framework to ensure the timely rollout of this critical defense system by 2025. The content presents a significant initiative by President Donald Trump to develop an American missile defense system modeled after Israel's Iron Dome, addressing complex and evolving missile threats. However, there are counterintuitive aspects that challenge the efficacy and appropriateness of such a system for the United States. 1. Misalignment of threats and solutions. While the executive order emphasizes the need to counter threats from a variety of missile types, including ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles, the Iron Dome system is primarily designed for short-range threats. Critics have pointed out that this system may not be effective against intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs), which pose a more substantial risk to the U.S. This discrepancy raises questions about the appropriateness of adopting a system that is not aligned with the most pressing threats the U.S. faces. 2. Historical context ignored. The executive order references the historical attempts to create missile defense systems such as President Ronald Reagan's initiatives, which ultimately did not yield a fully operational system. This suggests a pattern of overpromising and underdelivering in missile defense capabilities. The irony lies in the fact that while the technology has advanced, the fundamental challenges of missile defense, such as interception accuracy and real-time response, remain unresolved. Trump's plan may evoke skepticism given this historical backdrop. 3. Budgetary implications versus actual needs. The order calls for a detailed budget plan to align with the fiscal priorities for the 2026 budget. However, developing a comprehensive missile defense system will likely require substantial funding, and it could divert resources from other critical defense needs. The counterintuitive aspect here is that while the call for enhanced missile defense appears urgent, it may not necessarily translate into a proportional increase in overall national security. The prioritization of missile defense over other military or social needs could be seen as misallocated resources. For the technological feasibility, the plan includes ambitious advancements such as space-based interceptors and capabilities for early interception during the boost phase of missile launches. However, the technological feasibility of these systems is still in question. Critics argue that the complexities of deploying space-based systems and achieving reliable early interception capabilities could lead to significant delays and technical failures. This raises the counterintuitive notion that an over-reliance on advanced technology might result in gaps in defense capabilities, rather than enhancement. 5. Bilateral and multilateral cooperation. The executive order emphasizes the importance of cooperation with allies in developing missile defense capabilities. The counterintuitive insight here is that while the U.S. seeks to strengthen its own defenses, reliance on international partnerships may also expose vulnerabilities. If allied nations are not equally committed or capable of enhancing their missile defense systems, the overall effectiveness of the U.S. defense strategy could be compromised, underscoring the complexity of global defense dynamics. 6. Political implications. Trump's announcement was made in the context of his 2024 campaign promises, suggesting a political motivation behind the timing of the executive order. The counterintuitive point here is that the urgency of developing a missile defense system may be more about securing political support than addressing a genuine national security crisis. This raises concerns about the politicization of defense initiatives and whether such plans are genuinely in the best interest of national security or merely a vehicle for political gain. 7. Public perception of threats. The executive order frames missile threats as increasingly complex and dire. However, public perception often differs from the heightened narrative presented by politicians. The U.S. public might not view missile threats as immediate or pressing as portrayed, leading to a disconnect between government action and public sentiment. This counterintuitive gap could result in skepticism about the necessity for such a defensive system and its associated costs. In summary, while Trump's executive order represents a bold vision for missile defense, several counterintuitive factors challenge the practicality and effectiveness of adopting an Iron Dome-like system for the United States. The mismatch between the system's design and the threats faced, historical precedents, budgetary concerns, technological hurdles, reliance on international cooperation, political motivations, and public perception all contribute to a complex landscape that questions the initiative's ultimate efficacy. In the report concerning President Donald Trump's executive order to initiate the development of an advanced missile defense shield akin to Israel's Iron Dome, several critical aspects are likely to be overlooked by the general public and even analysts. Here are those overlooked components along with their significance. 1. Technological ambitions versus real-world limitations. The report emphasizes the ambitious nature of the plan, which includes advanced technologies such as space-based interceptors and capabilities for boost-phase interception. However, the complexities involved in developing and deploying such technologies can be immense. Most discussions focus on the potential benefits but overlook the historical context of similar ambitious projects like the Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI) from the Reagan era, which faced significant technical and budgetary challenges. The significance here is that while the U.S. might strive for cutting-edge defense systems, the reality of actual deployment could face technological hurdles and delays impacting national security in the immediate term. 2. Shift from traditional defense posture. The order indicates a shift from traditional missile defense strategies to a more proactive stance aiming to intercept missiles before they are launched. This reflects a significant change in U.S. defense policy that many may not fully grasp. Historically, missile defense has focused on intercepting incoming threats rather than preemptive measures. The implications of this shift are profound. It could lead to increased tensions with adversaries who may perceive preemptive capabilities as aggressive, potentially escalating conflicts rather than deterring them. 3. Bipartisan support and critique. While Trump's administration is pushing this initiative, there is a notable lack of bipartisan discussion on missile defense strategy. Many analyses may overlook the potential for bipartisan support or critique of such measures. Given the increasing complexity of missile threats, a unified approach could strengthen U.S. defenses. The significance of this aspect is that a lack of bipartisan support might lead to future instability in defense policies depending on the political climate and administration changes. 4. Economic and budgetary considerations. The executive order mandates the Secretary of Defense to create a budget plan within the broader fiscal context of the 2026 budget. However, the discussion surrounding funding and economic feasibility is often glossed over. The cost of developing advanced missile defense systems can be astronomical, and with competing budget priorities such as infrastructure, healthcare, and education, there is a risk that defense initiatives may not receive the necessary funding. This is significant because budget constraints could lead to a half-hearted implementation of the missile defense system, ultimately undermining national security objectives. 5. International cooperation and its challenges. The order calls for increased bilateral and multilateral cooperation with allies in missile defense technology and capabilities. Many reports may highlight this aspect but fail to discuss the practical challenges associated with international collaboration. Different nations have varying defense priorities, technological capabilities, and political climates that can hinder cooperation. The significance is that without effective collaboration, the U.S. might not achieve the comprehensive defense network envisioned, limiting the system's effectiveness. 6. Public perception and political rhetoric. Trump's rhetoric emphasizes the need for a system that parallels Israel's Iron Dome, which has been effective in intercepting short-range threats. However, this comparison may mislead the public regarding the capabilities and limitations of such systems against different types of missile threats. The significance lies in the potential public misunderstanding of what this defense system can realistically achieve, which could lead to complacency or unrealistic expectations regarding national security. 7. Potential for escalation of arms race. The order reflects an intention to bolster U.S. missile defense capabilities amid the evolving landscape of global missile technology. However, the implications of enhancing missile defense systems could provoke rival nations to accelerate their missile development programs, leading to an arms race. This aspect is often overlooked in favor of focusing solely on defense and security. Yet it is significant because it poses long-term risks to global stability. 8. Environmental and space debris concerns. The development of space-based interceptors raises concerns regarding the sustainability of space operations and the potential for contributing to space debris. This environmental aspect is critical as the increase in debris could jeopardize not just military operations but also commercial and scientific endeavors in space. The significance is that while enhancing national security, the U.S. must also consider its responsibilities regarding space as a shared resource impacting international relations. 9. Integration with existing defense systems. The report does not elaborate on how the proposed missile defense system will integrate with existing defense frameworks. This integration is crucial for maximizing effectiveness and ensuring that various systems can operate cohesively during a threat scenario. The significance here is that without proper integration, the new system could create gaps in defense capabilities, rendering it less effective and potentially exposing vulnerabilities. 10. Legal and ethical implications. The potential for preemptive missile defense capabilities raises legal and ethical questions regarding the use of military force. The report does not address how these capabilities align with international law, particularly concerning the principles of necessity and proportionality in military actions. The significance of this issue is substantial, as failure to navigate these legal waters could result in international backlash or complicate diplomatic relations with allies and adversaries alike. In conclusion, while the executive order for an advanced missile defense shield presents an ambitious vision for U.S. national security, several critical elements are often overlooked in public discourse. Recognizing these nuances is essential for a comprehensive understanding of the implications of such policies and the broader impact on U.S. defense strategy, international relations, and global stability. 1. Strategic imperative and national security context. President Trump's executive order to develop a U.S. version of the Iron Dome reflects a critical response to escalating missile threats from adversaries. The executive order underscores the importance of enhancing missile defense capabilities to protect American citizens and vital infrastructure. This move highlights the U.S. government's recognition of a more complex and intense threat landscape over the past 4 decades, necessitating a robust defense system. The context of the executive order is rooted in historical defense strategies, including references to President Reagan's initiatives illustrating a continued commitment to national security amid evolving technological advancements in missile delivery systems. 2. Technological advancements and implementation plan. The comprehensive implementation plan mandated by the executive order emphasizes the need for cutting-edge technologies, such as space-based interceptors and capabilities designed to neutralize missile threats during various flight phases. Key components include the acceleration of the hypersonic and ballistic tracking space sensor layer and the development of non-kinetic capabilities, indicating a significant shift towards integrating advanced technologies into missile defense. The directive for the Secretary of Defense to submit a detailed architecture and requirements within 60 days reflects a strategic prioritization of swift and effective implementation, showcasing the administration's urgency in enhancing defense mechanisms. 3. Funding and budgetary considerations. The order requires the Secretary of Defense to collaborate with the Office of Management and Budget to create a financial plan that aligns with the fiscal priorities for the 2026 budget. This aspect of the executive order is crucial, as effective missile defense systems require substantial investment and a secure supply chain for components. The emphasis on budgetary alignment indicates a recognition of the need for financial resources to support the ambitious goals set forth in the order. Furthermore, the order highlights the importance of reviewing existing missile defense postures and exploring bilateral and multilateral cooperation with allies, which may provide additional avenues for funding and resource sharing. 4. Critique and limitations of the proposed system. While the executive order aims to establish a comprehensive missile defense system, critiques of the Iron Dome model highlight its limitations, particularly concerning intercontinental missile threats. The original Iron Dome was primarily designed for short-range threats, raising questions about its efficacy against the more significant risks posed to the U.S. This critique points to the broader challenge of adapting existing systems to counter diverse missile threats ranging from regional to global scales. The discussion of these limitations invites scrutiny regarding the practicality of the proposed system and the necessity for continued innovation and adaptation in missile defense strategies. 1. Ronald Reagan Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI) 1983. In response to the perceived threat of Soviet nuclear missiles during the Cold War, President Ronald Reagan announced the Strategic Defense Initiative, a proposed missile defense system intended to protect the United States from nuclear ballistic missile attacks. The initiative aimed to develop ground-based and space-based systems capable of intercepting and destroying incoming missiles. Though it generated significant controversy and skepticism regarding its feasibility and cost, SDI marked a pivotal shift in U.S. defense policy, emphasizing technological advancements in missile defense. 2. The Aero Defense System 1986. Developed as a joint project between Israel and the United States, the Aero missile defense system was designed to intercept long-range ballistic missiles. The project began in response to the Scud missile attacks during the Gulf War in 1991 and aimed to provide a robust defense against potential threats from neighboring countries. The Aero system has undergone several iterations and improvements over the years, demonstrating the ongoing collaboration between the U.S. and Israel in advancing missile defense technologies. 3. The THAAD Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System 2007. The THAAD system is an advanced missile defense system developed by the United States to intercept short, medium, and intermediate-range ballistic missiles during their terminal phase of flight. Deployed in various regions including South Korea and Guam. THAAD aims to protect against missile threats from North Korea and other adversaries. Its development underscores the increasing global emphasis on missile defense systems capable of countering evolving missile technologies and threats. The executive order signed by President Trump on January 27, 2025 to initiate the development of a U.S. version of the Iron Dome missile defense system marks a pivotal moment in American defense strategy. This ambitious plan aims for an operational missile defense shield by 2025 designed to counter a range of missile threats including ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles. Future outlook and predictions. 1. Technological advancements. Rapid development of space-based systems. The focus on space-based interceptors and tracking sensors is expected to lead to significant advancements in missile defense technologies. By 2025, we may see the deployment of sophisticated satellite systems capable of detecting and intercepting missiles during their boost phase, enhancing the effectiveness of the defense shield. Integration of AI and machine learning. The incorporation of artificial intelligence (AI) in missile defense systems will likely improve threat assessment and response times, allowing for more effective interception of missiles. This integration could become a standard feature in military defense systems by the end of the decade. 2. Increased defense spending. The financial implications of this executive order will likely lead to a surge in defense spending, particularly as the Secretary of Defense develops a budget plan for the initiative. We can anticipate a reallocation of funds from other defense programs to prioritize this missile defense project, potentially impacting other military capabilities. 3. International collaboration and tensions. Strengthened alliances. The emphasis on bilateral and multilateral cooperation with allies suggests that the U.S. will pursue joint missile defense initiatives, particularly with NATO and other key partners in the Asia-Pacific region. This could lead to enhanced interoperability of defense systems among allied nations. Increased tensions with adversaries. the development of advanced missile defense capabilities may escalate tensions with countries like Russia and China, who may perceive these advancements as a threat to their strategic deterrent capabilities. This could trigger an arms race, particularly in the development of countermeasures against U.S. missile defense systems. 4. A public and political response. Support and criticism. The initiative is likely to receive mixed reactions domestically. Supporters will argue that robust missile defense is crucial for national security, while critics may question the effectiveness and cost of such a system, especially given the Iron Dome's limitations against intercontinental threats. Impact on future elections. The approach taken by the Trump administration in defense matters could shape the political landscape leading into the 2026 midterm elections. Influencing voter sentiments on national security. 5. Strategic military posture. Shift in defense strategy. The implementation of this missile defense shield signifies a strategic shift from a purely reactive defense posture to a proactive one, focusing on intercepting missiles before they reach U.S. territory. This could redefine military engagement strategies and impact how the U.S. approaches conflict with adversaries. Enhanced domestic security. The potential success of this missile defense initiative could lead to increased public confidence in national security measures, possibly impacting policies related to homeland security and emergency preparedness. 6. Long-term defense strategy. Evolution of missile defense. As new missile technologies continue to emerge, the U.S. missile defense strategy will need to evolve. Future advancements may include not only kinetic interceptors but also non-kinetic solutions such as electronic warfare capabilities to disrupt missile systems. Impact on global defense norms. The U.S. initiative may influence global norms regarding missile defense, prompting other nations to strengthen their own capabilities, potentially reshaping international defense policies and treaties. Conclusion. The launch of the American Iron Dome initiative represents not just a singular defense project but a comprehensive approach to modernizing the United States military capabilities in response to evolving threats. By 2025, we can expect significant advancements in technology, increased spending, and shifts in both domestic and international defense postures. The success or failure of this initiative will likely have lasting implications for U.S. national security strategy and geopolitical relations in the years to come.